We're live. So, I will count us in. If you guys are ready, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Squeak! The first Star Wars spin-off movie is going to be about the Rogue Squadron.
You know, that's amazing. I wonder if they're going to bring back Wedge Antilles.
How can you have Rogue Squadron without the man, the myth, the legend, Wedge Antilles?
Dennis Lawson said he wouldn't reprise the role, so who knows?
I can't wait to see Porkins back in the cockpit of his X-Wing.
Right? Porkins is dead, man.
He can still make a cameo.
What, like one of the characters trips over his tombstone on Yavin 4?
Someone flies their X-Wing into his space debris and his body hits the windshield?
You guys are being real jerks about this, and you should apologize to me immediately.
And you should apologize to us for not knowing the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Rude.
Road Squad.
Yeah, more like Rude Squadron. Okay. That's done. Oh my. Let's see. Now they have the actual news up. Oh yes. Oh, Indiana. You lead off this show with two of the best pieces of news, period. Oh God.
You're right. Don't lie. You know you like Tyrese.
Y'all got some chicken?
We hungry.
We hungry. Oh God. I have to say it at least 3 times while we talk about that news.
Pockets ain't empty, cuz.
Now I have to go watch that one. I have to go watch it. Ah, yes. I think I'm going to buy all 6 Fast and Furious. No, I'm going to buy all the Fast and Furious Blu-rays off Amazon. It'll be great.
Great decision.
I bought Big Hero 6 today. That's the first Blu-ray I've bought in like 4 years.
I bought like 3 Blu-rays in the last 3 months.
I don't know. Now I'm starting to kind of like buy movies again. I also saw that all of the Studio Ghibli movies are available on Blu-ray now. All of them. Well, I guess I shouldn't say all of them, but like My Hero Totoro, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, they were all on Blu-ray at Target.
Let's get this show on the road, boys.
All right. Well, Kiku, you want to lead us in, fearless leader?
In 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Neek the Podcast. I am Kiku. Along with me, as always, is the Seattle Super Nerd, a man whose brain is so large it can only be contained by the great state of chaos. And now I've confused you about where he lives and where he's from. Josh Finney. And
God, I
of course,
love
as
that.
always,
That is the best intro ever.
and also with us, as always, the fanatic with the schematic, the god of recording, a man whose head was so large with thoughts. Some Mexican kid thought he was a piñata.
Oh,
Raymond Apollo Williams.
hey.
That took a completely strange left turn.
I thought you were talking about the other head, and then you said head, and I was, man, okay.
Well, I don't want to talk about any birth defects you might have. That's cruel.
Birth defect.
Yeah, well, you said you had a second head.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Let's keep it PG. You're right. Yeah.
It's PG-13, and it'll be like Total Recall. Ray opens the shirt, and it's like, Quaid. Quaid.
And it's just another shirt underneath my shirt. Yeah.
That's right. And all 40 people who listen to this episode, 3 of them will get that reference. So, all right. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very relaxed. I'm more relaxed than usual, which is good.
Yep, doing good, doing good. Lots of exciting stuff happened this week, so I'm really, really pumped to talk about it.
We hungry.
Right.
We hungry.
We hungry is going to come up. I just did a whole bunch of cocaine before the show to get ready for this, so let's do it immediately, right into the news. Josh, Indiana. What's going on in Indiana?
Indiana.
Is there cornfields in Indiana?
It's not the cornfields.
Are there Hoosiers?
Not filming Sound
Are there Hoosiers in Indiana, Josh?
There
No.
are Hoosiers.
There's a bunch of bullshit going on in Indiana.
But that is not what we're talking about.
Wait, is it Hoosier? Hoosier? Hoosier.
It's Hoosiers. I just watched the movie.
No. From now on, we're calling them the Hoosiers.
Okay, well, in the state of the Hoosiers, Indiana is getting a fair amount of attention from the nerd community at large, as there is a bill on the desk of the Indiana governor's office that would require, or that would give, store owners the right to refuse service to any LGBT customers based on religious beliefs. This is a big deal. I mean, one, obviously, just listen to that. Let that sink in for a minute. But two, Gen Con, which is Indianapolis's Comic-Con, has put forth a statement saying that if the governor signs this bill and makes it law, they will pull up stakes and move their convention. It is estimated that Gen Con brings in around $50 million annually to the Indianapolis area.
And just so everyone at home knows, Josh legit read that word for word. He added one word. That was it, and it was around.
And that was beautiful.
It was.
I applaud you.
However, I would like to say, good for you, Gen Con. You stand up for that. This has actually become like huge national news. It's on CNN. It's even on ESPN. Like Indiana, the college just put out a statement about it. This is like, look, I understand people have religious beliefs and they don't want their religious beliefs infringed on by other people's life choices and whatnot, but this is kind of silly. It's not like they're coming into your home and grabbing up your children and
No. It's not even kind of silly. This is completely asinine.
Yeah, it's completely asinine. I will agree with that sentiment.
This is absolutely nuts that in the 21st century we even have to have this discussion. I mean, it's equivalent to blatant racism and segregation that was going on all the way up through the 60s and that even still continues to today in some parts of the country. It's absolutely discrimination, and you have no right to say it. And I say that as someone with a lot of religious conviction, that the governor signing this and the people who campaign for this law do not represent my beliefs and my religion. Like, they do not represent how I feel about this.
Well, what's really crazy about this is there has to be a fair amount of people who would want something like this to happen to get this bill to a governor's desk. There have been, in case anybody wants any, small amount of history on it, there are other bills like this that have been signed into state governments. None of them are as infringing as this one. Like, this one basically in black and white says, if you are religious and you do not want to serve somebody who is gay or transgender or anything like that, if you do not want to serve them because of your religious beliefs, you can refuse service to them. Which, if you ask me, I believe there's a verse in the Bible or something like that that says you're supposed to give a thirsty man water. Am I right? I know Ray is religious, reads the Bible.
Well, I mean, just beyond that, how do you even know? You can't look at somebody and just say, yep, that man's gay. 90% of the time, you're wrong.
Well, see, that was the next point I was going to bring up. Like, how do you actually scan for this as a human being? Like, if it's a lesbian, or you're like, she's got short hair and cargo shorts on, she must be gay.
Oh, I hate that people still think that because you feel or read a book or listen to somebody and you firmly agree with this, that you have the right to take away somebody else's human right to be a human? What is wrong with you? Like, stop. We are all humans. This is ridiculous.
The way I see this is, and I say this as someone, like, Kiku mentioned that, Ray is religious and reads the Bible a lot. I do too. I have very strong Christian convictions in how I was raised and how I live my life. And this is, to me, almost the equivalent of trying to impose Sharia law in the Middle East. You're trying to force your personal conviction down the throats of other people, and I think that's what gets lost in translation so many times, is when we sit here and we say America's the land of the free and the home of the brave. Like, if it's the land of the free, then let everyone live their life the way they want to. Like, they're not trying to shove it down your throat. Why are you trying to shove your beliefs down theirs?
Mm-hmm.
America is a melting pot for all religions, all races, all beliefs. And
yeah, it's a melting pot for these certain types of butter. Yeah, for sure.
we have to respect that in one another. And if you don't, then, I mean, at its core, you're losing what it means to be human, essentially. And
well, the double-edged sword on that, though, Josh, is that, you know, the people who are religious do have a right to, you know, practice their beliefs and to believe what they want to believe. I think it needs to be taken outside of the whole law thing, and it really needs to be like, how are you going to practice religion, which is supposed to be about faith in a higher power and loving and caring for your fellow man, and then turn around and just discriminate the hell out of them because you think you know what it means in those verses. That's a contradiction upon itself. As they said, they have strong Christian convictions, both Ray and Josh. I have strong Clifford convictions. That was the book I read as a child, was The Big Red Dog. So for me, I like to take the objective look and go, my beliefs are that I have been around many gay people long time. I know some of our listeners are. None of them have done anything that has made me go to hell. I just want to throw that out there. And they are some of the best people I know, and that does not define who they are, which I think is the really ridiculous part here, is that we are using someone's sexual preference to define them, which is not even a quarter of what makes you a human being.
Well,
like,
it's not just that. It goes back to what Ray said. Like, how do you even determine that about somebody? Like, at that point, you're blatantly... I mean, you're being prejudiced and you're profiling.
Oh yeah, it's just like racial profiling. It's like, you know, someone walks in and looks a little, you know, quote unquote dainty. That's just like someone coming in going, "Is that a tan or is skin dark? We should kick him out." I really, in this day and age,
I still can't believe that these kind of people still think that their mindset is the only mindset and that their beliefs are the only beliefs and that anybody who doesn't coincide with what their beliefs dictate isn't, you know, allowed to have the freedoms that they have. I still don't get that.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up by quoting Kevin Smith, the great prophet Kevin Smith, who said in his movie Dogma, "It is dangerous to have beliefs. It's better to have ideas because ideas can be changed, beliefs cannot be."
Mm-hmm.
But the next bit of news, fans of Tyrese Gibson, we hungry, are campaigning for him to take over the role of Jon Stewart in the Green Lantern film. Warner Brothers has not said which Green Lantern they will be using, but Tyrese is on board if they want to do Stewart. I already know.
He can't be Hal Jordan? Come on.
Well, I mean, you know that he could be. They have done that.
It can't be worse than what it was before, right?
I just want to go on record as saying, I gotta try and say this with a straight face.
I can't see your face.
I absolutely love Tyrese, but him as Green Lantern is one of the most laughable things I have heard in so long. This is the man that was not taken seriously in any of the Transformers films. He was outacted by Josh Duhamel. That says an awful lot for
Shia
you.
LaBeouf.
This is a guy that has been in 3 going on 4 installments of the Fast and Furious franchise and is largely there as the moron.
Pretty much.
Ludacris is better than him in those films. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. Please, if you want me to take you seriously, DC, keep him away.
I mean, at this point, I can't take any of the Green Lantern movies serious ever. Really, Tyrese, of all people.
You're going to go from having Ben Affleck as one of your main actors, okay, as Batman, to having Tyrese Gibson as Green Lantern, and Ezra Miller as the Flash, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Like, that is such a huge drop-off. It's not even amusing anymore.
Like, are you even trying? Like, I don't...
I'm all for getting unknown actors. I'm all for getting, you know, lesser-known people, however you want to phrase that. You know, Marvel, Chris Evans was not super well-known before Captain America. Chris Hemsworth wasn't super well-known before Thor.
Neither was Tom Hiddleston, believe it or not.
Hiddleston? but this is just the latest in a bizarre series of choices for me, if this pans out.
Well, I'm actually going to disagree with both of you. I want him to play the Green Lantern. And let me tell you why.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Because I want there to be 2 sequels. I want there to be Too Fast, Too Lantern, and then I want Green Lantern 3, Oa Drift. Marvel has unveiled its new Avengers roster in anticipation of Secret Wars and Free Comic Book Day. The team titled All New, All Different Avengers will include Thor, Iron Man, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Vision, Nova, Ms. Marvel, and arguably, most importantly, Miles Morales' Ultimate Spider-Man. It's also important to note that Thor will be female Thor in this, and Ms. Marvel, it's actually going to be, Kamala Khan is her name? Kamala Khan. So it's basically all of the characters that are... have a little bit of controversy with them, even though their books are all doing phenomenally, by the way, which is a good sign. But these are all newer characters except for Iron Man because they haven't switched Tony Stark out since ever.
I've heard some rumors about that, though, so don't...
Yeah, so we don't know. Right now,
don't say that yet.
We don't know. The cover for issue 1 confirms Miles' survival from Secret Wars and Ultimate End, which has been speculation of fans since the event was first announced. I don't really think that's spoilers. I think any comic book fan worth their salt knew he was going to survive.
Well, that's what everybody wanted, and of course they were like, he's the most popular Ultimate character, so yes, he's going to live.
Was announced.
Yeah, so
that Miles was going to come out. I'm still banking on him and Nick Fury being the only notable characters surviving from the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only two. And they've been teasing that Kitty Pryde might make it out of there, but that's... Yeah.
I don't care.
Honey Badger don't care.
Surely do not. I'm sorry, Kitty Pryde.
Also, in an interesting bit of side news, the Human Torch will be joining the ranks of the Uncanny Inhumans once Secret War concludes. There was speculation that he was going to be an Inhuman. They have since announced that no, he will be the same old Johnny Storm, just he's going to join the Uncanny Inhumans. If you see the first cover with him on it, they also have Inferno on it, one of the Inhumans.
That's why I was confused. Yes.
He's not taking his place. They're going to be both there, and millions of new comic book fans will be confused. All right, Ben Mendelsohn, The Dark Knight Rises, Netflix's Bloodline, is reported to be in talks for a lead role alongside Felicity Jones in Star Wars Rogue One. Disney has declined to comment on this report, so this is probably bullshit rumor so far. Bryan Singer has revealed over social media that complete newcomer Lana Condor will be taking on the role of Did you really write fan favorite for fucking Jubilee?
I did. I wanted to see if you would read it.
That's the first time in 8 episodes that I have dropped the F-bomb, and Ray's going to have to put an E next to this episode. Now, I'm going to... Fuck this. Did you fucking write fan fucking favorite for fucking Jubilee? Are you fucking kidding me?
Everyone listening to this, you're welcome.
What the fuck were you thinking?
Who's the April Fool's episode?
Fan? Todd Oxtra is the only fan of Jubilee. Secret Friends Unite host, by the way, folks.
Yes, he's the only person I know, yes, that is a fan.
He's the only dude I know that would go out and buy the Kota Bayuka statue of Jubilee. Like, I saw it, and I was like, it's still lame. And they make everything cool.
Saying something, even though I wrote that, I hate Jubilee. I hated her in the 92 X-Men show. I hate her now. They have not done anything interesting with that character ever.
I don't hate Jubilee.
I do.
Just, sometimes I forget that she was a character ever.
I don't, unfortunately.
See, I can't because my first introduction to Jubilee was that 92 X-Men cartoon.
Agreed.
And even back then, you know, reading comics and, you know, being super excited about the cartoon and everything that happened in that first episode. She goes to the train station after running away from the X-Mansion, and Wolverine's trying to find her, and the Sentinels come in, which, by the way, they retconned that story for Rogue in the original X-Men trilogy because Fox doesn't know how to write their own damn stories. Moving along. So even then, I was just like, but this is Wolverine. Why doesn't he kill her? She's dead weight. I mean, that's like carrying a dead body. Just, you know, drop her, man. Whatever, give her to the Sentinels. What powers are you going to miss? The dazzling powers of dazzling!
I think she's gonna serve the purpose of, guys, we won, time to celebrate, fireworks.
Actually, no.
I
You know what it
really
is?
hope she dies after a quick cameo.
I'm telling you this right now. So many people complain that the other X-Men aren't used as much, and I am one of them that say that. I really think that she's going to be in this film, so other people are like, wow, look at all the cool other X-Men besides Jubilee.
Yes, Jubilee. It was. I think she's definitely just kind of. They're just filling roster roles now. I'm like, what purpose will she serve? To be completely honest.
We talked about it in the Facebook group, and people were saying something like, Emma Frost even said that her powers are yet have reached their potential, that she could explode atoms on the subatomic level. And right now she's a vampire in the comic books, so she's not cooler, but she's a vampire. If you like that, if you own a Twilight cup, you might like that.
Oh, I know somebody that owns a Twilight cup. I'm not gonna say
you
names.
Kiku. Anyway, so it's just why this character? This is one of those things that Fox and DC does, where they're just like, we're just gonna do fan service. You guys have seen Bishop, who looked like a Rick James reject from an action movie he did back in the 80s.
Rick James.
Yeah, so now they're gonna have Jubilee in there, and even if it's a quick cameo, and it's I don't think anyone in the theater is gonna be like, oh my God, it's Jubilee. They're gonna be like, really? That was a waste of 5 minutes.
Or they'll be like, oh
no, I'll be like,
Jubilee?
oh my God, it's Jubilee. Pee break.
Since we're bringing back useless X-Men, why don't we bring back Thunderbird too? Yeah.
Thunderbird did more than Jubilee ever did.
That's
Bring
true.
back
Still.
Cannonball.
Oh, Cannonball. Yeah, that'd be great.
No, dude, just bring Dupe in, all right? Let's just get Dupe. That way they can spin it off into the X-Force thing. All right, going on.
Oh.
The X-Files is officially returning to television in a limited event series consisting of 6 episodes. Series star David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson will reprise their roles as Mulder and Scully. Production is slated to start this fall with an air date that is yet to be determined. And once again, we will get to see the worst FBI agent ever on TV.
No, that was the chick from Covert Affairs. She is the worst ever.
He literally had aliens in front of his face, and he still could not prove that aliens existed.
But see, at least he was working with aliens. This chick just literally...
Not only once. Multiple times did he have aliens. He had 2 movies where he had aliens in front of him and still cannot prove aliens existed.
And he went on to start the Men in Black, folks. Yep.
All joking aside, I was not really into the X-Files during its original airing. I was too young. I have caught up on this over the years. I'm actually pretty excited, even though it's only 6 episodes. If done right, and Fox has shown, despite all their blundering, they can do limited series correctly, this could be really good.
I don't know. I was never really into it. My mom was really into it for a long time.
You're dead to me.
Well, too bad. I can't die.
Ray is dead. He's now a ghost, guys.
If I'm a ghost, I'm the hype ghost. So anyway, I don't know. I never really got into it. Just like Mad Max.
Oh, you crossed the line, buddy.
I've already dropped the F-bomb like 75 times tonight. Don't make me do it again. Just don't make. You know what? Actually, all joking aside about David Duchovny being the worst FBI, or what was it, Mulder? He was Mulder.
Yeah, that was
Mulder being the worst FBI agent. The first 5 seasons of the show were really good. I got tired of him never being able to prove aliens existed, and then the last 2 seasons where he kind of dipped out to do movies and stuff, and they brought in Robert Patrick were kind of weird. This is cool that they're doing this. I almost want to protest this because it's not Firefly. Bastards.
Yes, that's kind of how I feel. We can get listen, Internet, we can get the X-Files back, but we can't get Firefly back. Are you kidding me?
I mean, we've already had 9 seasons of the X-Files. We've had half a season, really, of Firefly.
Like 0.5. Seriously. I'm just saying, Internet, get your priorities straight.
True. Hey, Ray.
What's up, man?
As a black man who is a nerd.
Great. Here we go.
Do you
if it's about Tyrese, I don't want to talk about it.
No, we're not going to talk. We already talked about Tyrese. And as I said before, Too Fast, Too Lantern, Green Lantern 3, Adrift.
We hungry.
We hungry.
We hungry. Pockets ain't empty, cuz.
Just because. So yes, I'm a black man.
You're a black man who's a nerd, and curious about what you think about Idris Elba.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
He could do any role ever made for anybody, and I would go see it.
I completely agree with you, which is why he's said to be in talks for the lead villain role for Star Trek 3. No word yet on what the role would be or what the plot is yet outside of rumors that Klingons are heavily involved. Simon Pegg recently said that it is in spirit with the TV show and more about adventure and exploration than the previous two movies. The project has also seen a fair bit of turmoil, with J.J. Abrams leaving to helm the Star Wars universe because he used Star Trek to prepare himself for the Star Wars universe, duh, and the Kurtzman-Orkai duo departing for multiple projects. Justin Lin is now slated to direct, with Simon Pegg scripting for a July 2016 release date. Justin Lin is a terrible choice, by the way, but we're not even going to get into that. I think Idris Elba is going to be a Klingon. Actually, I kind of hope he's going to be a Klingon because he'll be terrifying.
And he'd be really
and he would be the only Klingon I think the entire female race would be like, I would rub his ridges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I'm excited either way. I liked the first and second Star Trek movies. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the TV show, but I liked those movies. They were fun. So I would definitely go see this, especially with his name being attached to it.
Well, I think they're going to need, clout, especially with everything that's gone on surrounding this movie, and that is a big name to have.
It keeps in line with getting a big name for the villain. I mean,
yes, it does.
The first one had Eric Bana, and then the second one had.
Wait. Can you back up real quick? Did you just say Eric Bana is a big name?
I said Bana.
So.
Is it not Bana? Is it Bana?
No. You said it right. I'm just saying you said he was a big name.
He's a fairly big name.
Yeah, you backpedal, buddy, because that is a bunch of horse crap, right?
It's actually not.
He was the Hulk, and Ang Lee's the Hulk. You will never forgive him.
Munich maybe forgive him.
I won't.
I forgave him for Munich, and I forgave Ang Lee once I saw Life of Pi. But moving on. One of the worst kept secrets of all time.
Oh, wait. Before we go into the next news bit, side note to the Idris Elba stuff, the producers of the new James Bond film, Spectre, were asked about him actually playing the next Bond, and they said they would love to have him, which is really cool, and also goes to the theory that James Bond is just a code name. Josh, take it away.
He's a Time Lord. Sorry.
In one of the worst kept secrets of all time, Deadline has officially reported that the Russo brothers of Captain America Winter Soldier, Community, and Arrested Development are set to helm the end-all of Marvel's Grand Master Plan in Phase 3.
Static Shock returns!
Yeah!
Infinity War, Parts 1 and 2. Filming is slated to start in 2016 as one long continuous shoot. And in an interesting bit of news that goes along with this, it's being reported that screenwriters Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely of the Captain America franchise are being courted to script both parts of this film.
I'm really excited.
This has been going around the internet for about 5 months now, but I'm really as excited as I was when I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
These are the only guys I would trust taking over that big of a movie from Joss Whedon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Wachowski brothers.
Oh, fight you!
Out of the current Marvel group that they have going on, I would trust them.
Me too, because Winter Soldier is probably my third favorite Marvel movie of all time right now.
Yeah, I think it's good to get them on board. Joss has been pretty adamant that he wants a break. He wants to take some time off. And if he was scripting and directing Infinity War, he would have to be just as involved as he was with all of Phase 2. And I just don't see him making that commitment. I could see him staying on as a producer or as an advisor maybe to the duo. But beyond that, Joss has laid all the groundwork for Phase 3. He's going to take a nice break. And Kevin Feige is still around, so we're good.
Even though Kevin Feige is a liar.
a god among men. Rivaled by Raymond
I don't
Apollo.
like coffee, but I'm drinking Folgers Cristos.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, moving on.
Wow, we have a lot of news today.
I know.
We do have a lot of news. Some of this just popped up over the last 2 days, too.
I know.
So I'll go ahead and take the next one, since I know Kiku hates this franchise so much.
I
Does
don't
he?
hate the French. See, you guys put words into my mouth.
Hey, you put like words into my mouth too.
In a small tidbit of gaming news this week,
I'm not done.
I'm
What I was
done.
trying to say. You made me say fan favorite fucking Jubilee. I can't even say it without dropping the F-bomb. That's putting words in someone's mouth. That's like saying Kiku is a Nazi. Making me say fan favorite fucking Jubilee
Is
is
he?
like, I'm Jewish. I can't be a Nazi.
Oh, never mind. My bad.
That got really dark really fast.
Wow,
Look at the
Ray.
camera, that's rude.
Thanks for bringing up my heritage.
I didn't say anything.
In a small tidbit of gaming news, Microsoft and 343 Industries have begun to unveil the marketing machine for Halo 5 Guardians.
What was that? I didn't catch that. Would you repeat that, please?
Josh needs to repeat it.
In a small tidbit of gaming news this week, Microsoft and 343 Industries have begun to unveil the massive marketing machine for Halo 5 Guardians. Once a week, they are posting audio logs via SoundCloud and Tumblr to give backstory into the events of the game and engaging in viral marketing for the Halo series that it has long been known for, dating back to the famous I Love Bees campaign for Halo 2. 2 live-action trailers have also emerged within the past 3 hours of recording this episode, with one depicting Agent Locke preparing to shoot a wounded Master Chief in a battle zone, while the second effectively reverses the roles and heightens the tension. In addition, a release date of October 27th, 2015 was also announced.
That's my birthday!
Is it really?
Nope.
Happy birthday!
That's going to be Josh's early Christmas.
Oh, that's like 17 days
Seriously,
after my wedding
these two
anniversary.
trailers were really cool. They were live action, and both of them take place in front of a giant monument that is a big old statue of Master Chief. So the dialogue is pretty cool. Go check it out. The roles, like I said, reverse with both trailers. This could be really cool. This Saturday.
Josh will be posting both of those links in the Neek group, so
I
go
will.
there.
I have them saved on my computer. I have not posted them yet. I literally watched them and wrote this up before we recorded.
Good job, Josh.
I was whispering your name the entire time you were saying that, Josh, and
Oh,
I could tell that you thought you heard something, and you would.
Yep, I did. I kept stopping. I heard something. I thought it was Ray.
It wasn't me. Mm-mm. But yeah, I'm excited about this. This is a nice take on this. Like, this is the first refreshing change to the Master Chief story since Halo started, and I'm excited about that. Because
They've really, with Halo 4, I know 343 got a lot of flack for it, but they really brought the story back to being about Chief.
which is what it should have been. So
That's how it needed to be. I mean, they made the stakes huge with Halo 2 and Halo 3, but it was never really about the Chief. You were just playing as Chief or playing as Arbiter. And with Halo 4, we learned a little bit about Chief's past, but it really focused on his and Cortana's relationship. But it seems that the teaser trailer we got 2 years ago at E3 2013 indicates we're going to focus more on that relationship this time. Chief kind of going nomad, and especially with these 2 trailers, they're trying to make it more personable, which is something they've only done in the books, in the expanded universe canon.
exactly, and that's I was like, you want to know more about Chief? Read the books.
Exactly. So, not to say the books are excellent.
Yeah, they're great. They're fun.
They're great. In comparison to most video game literature, they're great. The writers from Bungie and from 343 are the ones who do those. Very well done. But yeah, Kiku, you say you don't like this franchise. Do you hate it?
No, I don't hate Halo. I just, I really, that's the way to put it. I really felt that they ended the story well in the third Halo with Master Chief sacrificing himself.
Mhm.
I don't mind them doing more Halo games, but I think hinging on Master Chief's involvement in it, whether or not he's the main character that you play as, you can do more with it. Especially it's not in Bungie's hands anymore. And 343, I guess, with Halo 5 is finally doing something on their own with the Agent Locke thing. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's a cash cow. I get it. You're milking it. It's like the Assassin's Creed series. You know, it didn't need to. It was planned to be a trilogy from the beginning, and then when they saw all the oodles of money that were coming in, they're like, oh, we have so many more stories, and it's not going to make sense to what we originally put out, but whatever. But you know, again, I don't hate the series. I played Halo the first day it came out. We bought an Xbox. My dad actually bought the Xbox for himself to play Halo. It was weird. But you know, I've been playing Halo since the very beginning, up until 3, and I played Reach, and I really enjoyed Reach because you know we would hear all that stuff about Reach in the games, and I was like, yeah, I'm interested in this. But then after that, you know, Halo was done for me. I was happy Master Chief had died, even though you know there's that extra after credit scene where he's not dead.
Of course not. They can't kill off their main hero.
But see, that's the thing is that this is, you know, and we're going to get into this in the topic of the week, is that it gets tiring just being back in the same world with the same characters. And I know a lot of people say that it's like coming home and I'm comfortable and it's like a blanket. I get to the point where I'm just like, you know, I want something new. I want a new world. I want to touch new stuff and be new people and talk to new people. I don't want to be the same person every single game. You know, confuse me. Call it Final Fantasy, and never will it be the final one.
Confirmed. Kiku wants a Snuggie instead of a blanket.
I just want someone to hug me and not make me say fan fucking Jubilee.
No, I echo a lot of Kiku's thoughts on that. I identify myself as a Halo superfan. It's one of my top 3 gaming franchises of all time. It's really what got me into gaming as much as I am today. But I agree. I was one of those who swore the franchise was done after 3. And in fact, when they announced Halo 4, I refused to watch anything on it. I didn't order it. I didn't want to play it. I happened to be in a store the week it came out and picked it up just for kicks and giggles, and I ended up loving it. I went in completely blind, but I liked it because of how it tied into so much of the expanded universe. So I think it's in good hands.
Well, and that's going to be my like final point on it is. I don't mind reading. I've read a lot of books. I love books. I just don't feel that you should have to go outside of the game universe to get the information that should be in-game. You know, it's one of the things that BioWare does really well and Bethesda does really well, that, you know, they have the codex, or, you know, you can pick up, you know, books and read about the history of the world. Like, if that stuff was in the game so that I could feel more fleshed out, cool. But, you know, when you're getting into even Halo 3... and they started the books in, I think, what is it, Halo 2? They started the books right after.
No, they started them the day that Halo 1 came out. Is when Fall of Reach came out.
Okay, yeah. So to get all of that information, and again, this is why I think people were confused about Bungie being able to write a good story for Destiny, is that they had read all the expanded universe stuff, and that's cool and all, and you know all about it because you read those books. But for those of us that didn't want to go outside the game realm, and people were like, oh, Destiny's going to have an awesome story because Bungie writes such a great story. I was like, no, they don't. The game stories weren't that good. It was basically, Master Chief, go blow this up to save the world. All right.
Why is he blowing this up again? Oh, yeah, to save the world. That's about it.
Yep. Save Cortana, save the world. She's the cheerleader.
She is.
The cheerleaders of Halo.
Yep.
Well, Hugh Buffman is continuing his flip-flopping on ending his...
Excuse me?
Reign with a recent Twitter and Instagram showing applause and stating in the caption, "One last time." Hugh Jackman, that's his name, I know it.
I know.
This would leave Wolverine 3, Slater, because it's whatever, AC Slater, for March 2017. That's your mystery girls, Josh. Right there.
Mystery girls.
The mystery girls are back, guys.
As Jackman's final time portraying the wildly popular mutant and seemingly eliminates any cameos in Apocalypse, Deadpool, or the tragic Gambit. I really hope he leaves, and not because I don't like Hugh Jackman's performance of Wolverine. I think he's embodied the role fairly well, but I want them to focus on X-Men. It's not Wolverine and his mutant power-having buddies, or the amazing Wolfie and his super friends. It's the X-Men. And these movies, I understand Wolverine's the most popular out of all of them.
I don't know why.
But but it's because he's the most edgy, and people are like, oh, Wolverine kills people while the other X-Men are so non-lethal. Whatever.
I don't care. Cyclops is the dick.
I mean, here's the thing. This has always been my argument against the X-Men films. Is it always felt like Wolverine and Friends, and as much as I love Hugh Jackman, don't get me wrong, I will see almost any movie with Hugh Jackman in it.
Water for elephants.
He is Wolverine. Like, if Hugh Jackman walks away, retire the Wolverine character from the Fox movies, please.
I completely disagree with that. I think if they're going to do another Wolverine, they need to take it in reverse and actually give us the short, stocky, hairy Wolverine that is in the comic books, and actually make it closer. Because let's be realistic, Hugh Jackman looks like a strong, tough guy and whatnot. But in the end, he's still movie pretty. I want to see the Wolverine that we see in the comics. That like ugly dude who kind of looks like a small furry pet. I want to see Danny DeVito from 1975 play Wolverine. That's who I want.
Yeah, that's where it becomes a little bit difficult. Is as much as I've liked Hugh Jackman, I would like to see another take on it, but give it a few years before you do it.
Oh, for sure.
Don't pull a Spider-Man on us. Don't go recasting the role immediately, like when you're done with an actor. I mean, Tobey Maguire had been out of Spider-Man for 2 years before we found out who was going to play before Andrew Garfield was cast. Don't do that to us.
I think a better analogy for you would be don't make Wolverine Batman.
That's the other one I was going to get to.
I can't stand either of them. So yeah, please don't.
I do think this is good though. Jackman constantly flip-flops, so I guarantee you we haven't heard the last of it, even though James Mangold, who's directing the film, is backing up Hugh Jackman's claim. Just do it. Give me Old Man Logan.
I think that's what's going to happen. I honestly think that's coming.
I think elements of it will. Obviously, we can't have the entire Old Man Logan.
Well, yeah, not the whole thing, but
elements of it
is coming, or at least a reinterpretation of it.
You know what? I think
Death of Wolverine.
I don't know. You know what? I think that if Deadpool does half as well as I think it's going to do, and it's a harder PG-13, because let's be realistic, they're not going to do rated R. But if it's a harder PG-13 close to that rated R, I think we could see a rated R Old Man Logan film, because Fox would have nothing to lose. It's their most famous comic book character that is under their rights, and people will go see that.
And the other reason I'm really pushing Old Man Logan, Mark Miller is a consultant to 20th Century Fox on their Marvel franchises.
Yeah, well, he's the guy like Jeff Johns. They're like, hey, Mark, name somebody in the X-Men universe.
Wolverine.
Bishop. Yeah, put him in the movie.
Wolverine again.
But it gives me a tiny sliver of hope that Old Man Logan could be done decently. If Deadpool is done right, Old Man Logan could be done right.
Speaking of Deadpool, they just released Ryan Reynolds in his costume on a bearskin rug in front of a fireplace, and ooh,
Reynolds.
It was sexy. Let me tell you something. That picture gives me a lot of hope for the film.
Yep.
Because it's Deadpool's costume. It is literally
like
Deadpool's costume to a T. While Ray pops a pimple on his arm.
I'm scratching my arm. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know what popping pimples looks like. I do it on my back all the time.
Gross.
Can't even see my back to do that, man. Come on.
Gross.
I make Mariah do it. Anyway, it makes me really excited to see this film, to know that it is coming out, and that we are seeing faithful interpretations of it, and we're not going to see him with his goddamn mouth sewn closed and his fucking Baraka hands. See, I can't even talk about that movie without cursing. And then having laser eyes like he was a 1987 child's Japanese toy.
Yeah, no, any doubt I had for this film automatically went away when I saw that image.
Yes. Well, I don't know about any doubt, but
99% of my doubt is now gone. Like, I could care less. I have a costume. That automatically makes it better.
At least we know we're on the right path. And I think by going by Rhett Reese and Brian Wernick, it's Brian Wernick is the other guy that writes with Rhett Reese, right?
I believe so.
So, knowing that they're scripting it and they're the guys behind Zombieland, they definitely have the sense of humor to make that a live-action movie.
I need a Bill Murray cameo now.
He needs to kill Bill Murray.
Woody Harrelson needs to show up.
Somebody super famous needs to die in a tragic way.
I've never been really up on Deadpool because of his fans, but I do like Deadpool.
You mean the fanboys?
Yes, the fanboys are the worst, next to Batman's, but still.
I am a Deadpool fanboy.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I am a complete Deadpool fanboy.
No,
In fact, my comic collection right now includes 95% of it is Deadpool.
See, you're not a fanboy, not the kind that I'm talking about, because I like you. I hate Deadpool fanboys, because they're like, oh, Deadpool's the greatest, and he can kill anybody, blah, 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 blah. You just really like the character. Like, you really enjoy his character.
And he could kill anybody.
Shush you right now. Anyway, I'm excited to see this movie. Ryan Reynolds looks like he is fully on board for this movie. Like, he's not just doing it because people want it. He wants to do this movie.
Well, I mean, Ryan Reynolds fought to get this movie.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why.
Well, he's been fighting for like almost 15 years to do this movie.
It's been a long time, so I'm really glad.
I mean, he was one of the only redeeming aspects of Origins to me was the fact that you could tell he actually genuinely cared about the character and hated what he did to it.
Yep.
He stated repeatedly, like, this is his dream role, and the fact that he stuck with it for so long gives me incredible hope for this film, and the costume just sent it over the top.
Well, because he gets to do his classic brand of humor, the sarcastic, crazy humor, and get away with it being so over-exaggerated and so overboard. And I mean, if you think about it as an actor, if any of you guys have ever done a short film or any sort of film, they tell you not to look into the camera ever, right? I mean, unless it's like a dead-on shot. Josh, you should know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, unless it's like House of Cards or like monologue style, you don't.
Yeah, exactly, right? But in this movie, he can do whatever he wants. He can look right at the camera and break the fourth wall, and it's expected. So he gets the cut. I mean, this is one of those roles that I think anybody who wants to be a comedian and quote unquote action star at the same time, this is the perfect role because you are breaking every single rule that they tell you not to do in any other movie. And if you do it, it's more applauded than it is, booed at.
I'm going to be really blunt here. A lot of people have been down on Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool. A lot of people I've talked to, at least, because all they associate Ryan Reynolds with is Green Lantern. And to anybody who's hating on him for this, I mean, one, go back and look at the history we were just talking about, how much he's fought to get this made. But two, I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be the film of his career. This is what he will be remembered for. This is the defining role of this man's career. It will erase any thoughts you have of Origins ever from your mind. It's going to blow you away.
I really like the proposal.
Well, long before they announced that they were actually doing the movie, and I've been following this since day one almost. Since the Guillermo del Toro pitch with Ryan Reynolds to do a Deadpool movie. And I remember back in the day getting into arguments with people, and they're like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is going to ruin that. I'm like, Ryan Reynolds is going to be perfect. And I mean, this is, going on like a decade now, or, close to 15 years even. It's somewhere in between 10 years and 15 years. I don't math well. But anytime anyone said, well, who do you want for the role? I'm like, Ryan Reynolds. That's who I envision as Deadpool. And I think anybody who's a film major or whatever, or has watched a lot of movies, movie buff, will tell you that he is actually a really good actor, especially if you watch his latest film, The Voices, and he's going to knock this out of the park without a doubt.
I'm ready for it. I want it.
You know what other movie's going to blow my socks off?
I think I know.
James Bond 24, Spectre.
Yay!
The teaser trailer, I should say, just released, and it definitely gives off a ton of hints that the James Bond name is a code name. We've brought it up before. You brought it up in the Facebook group. I've brought it up in many other conversations that this is going to be the film that really brings that out into the open. I think that There have been a lot of James Bonds, and Craig is just the newest iteration of it. And it actually looks like he might have a family member in Spectre, or someone in his family started Spectre. Maybe. You read a book, Brian?
I don't know. I'm really excited. I love Daniel Craig as Bond. He does a great job. A lot of people hate on every movie after Casino Royale, and I like all of them because Daniel Craig is great.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead as the resident James Bond fanboy. Having watched every single Bond movie in my life, the only Bond that matches Connery, in my eyes, is Craig. And Casino Royale and Skyfall are both in my top 5 Bond films.
Mm-hmm.
For all the love that Skyfall got, it got an equal amount of hate.
Which is weird to me, but whatever.
Bond loyalists, like, it was too actiony. It was too much like a modern movie. Well, that's the whole point. You brought Bond into the modern age. You got rid of Brosnan, and you brought Craig up as the modern Bond. And the Spectre and Bond, Bond 24 was kind of its code name. Bond 25 is presumably the next one. Is the last one Craig is under contract for. There were a lot of rumors about Spectre and its follow-up being a 2-part film. That whatever starts in 24 will end in 25. And I really think Bond 25, even though they've said they're going to let Craig be Bond indefinitely, as long as he wants to do the role, is the last one he's contracted for, and he's discussed walking away from it before. I think that this really is going to bring it full circle and bring it back to, completing the arc of James starting out that Casino Royale did, that showed him becoming a 00. Colin Salas showed him getting over Vesper's death and was just a garbage movie to me. And then Skyfall just took it to a whole nother level. Like, Skyfall brought it back to Bond's past, made it about him, the relationship between him and M. And this looks to continue that. Christoph Waltz is the villain, and I'm like a child on Christmas right now thinking about that.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz is...
He will be Biofeld, I guarantee you.
You mean Blofeld?
Blofeld, my bad. Blofeld.
Biofeld.
But I was like, we're talking about Big Pharma now?
I am so out of it right now.
We could get you a Snuggie made out of Biofeld, Kiku.
We could, and I would not vaccinate.
Oh, God.
I totally would. No, nobody send me hate mail for that one.
My money is absolutely on him being Blofeld, though.
So yeah, actually, and what I picked up from the trailer was a conversation we were having in the Facebook group and also, it was sparking my thought process on this, was that there's a scene in the trailer where he's holding a picture and a face is burned out, and it looks like it's an older brother, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make some sort of connection where Blofeld is James Bond's brother.
Mm-hmm.
I would truthfully love that.
It's an interesting idea because forever, Bond has always been this solo guy with no roots with any family or anything like that, except for Roger Moore marrying Moneypenny, which was just strange. But I think it'll be good. There's also some other stuff, like if you remember at the end of Skyfall, Javier Bardem laughs at a tombstone in the graveyard, and you never really get to see what's on the tombstone. That could be the fact that his real name is not Bond. He's never called James Bond at Skyfall. He's just called James. So you never know if his last name actually is James Blofeld.
Biofeld, yes.
Biofeld, my fault. I'm sorry.
Biofeld. I'm never going to live that one down.
Nope.
We're going to move it on.
Well, you know what's not moving on?
Zelda Wii U is not well, it is moving on, actually. It is
Not
being
in 2015,
played
it's not.
out of 2015. Honestly, we all expected this. Even though they showed that tech demo of Zelda Wii U and everybody was blown away that it was open world.
The horses don't hit trees.
The horses don't hit trees. One of the things that I noticed when I watched that trailer was the fact that the world was not populated whatsoever. And that included buildings and temples and all that stuff. It was pretty much just open range and a few mountains and a couple of, enemies and whatnot.
It was also a video of a video. Unless it's gameplay, I'm not firm.
Yeah, you're not firm on it. And as we know, was it Miyamoto that scrapped Majora's Mask 90% of the way through the game?
Scrapped Ocarina.
Yeah, that was
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Scrapped the whole thing because it just wasn't working out and started from the beginning. So this is common for Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, come on, get it. They'll get it right, and we'll love it. Unless it's like Skyward Sword, which it won't be, so it'll be fine.
I'm just hoping that the delays are going to be them really reassessing it and going, finally, you know what, let's give them the teen, almost rated M Zelda that they've been pining for.
Lol, no.
I want it. I want it so bad.
Maybe when we both have like kids and they're like 20, but probably not.
I'll be 93 years old in a wheelchair, breathing through an oxygen mask, going, Zelda's finally decapitating people!
I don't know. That's just...
Let me get the controller, Sonny Jimmy boy!
This game, with it being delayed, I mean, people have been saying it ever since last E3 that it was going to get delayed to 2016. There was just no way it was going to make it this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're looking at a Twilight Princess situation, and we know Nintendo's making a new console.
That's true.
If it were to hit next Christmas, which is not completely outside the realm of possibility, it will have been 5 years, I want to say, since the Wii U launched at that point. About 5 years, something like that.
Oh my God.
If Nintendo were to do that, I think you could see it launch on the Wii U and on the new Nintendo system, DX or whatever it's being codenamed, simultaneously.
Wii 2.
Oh God! Please no big Wii name.
Well, that would make sense, delaying it and not really caring about it, because a lot of people have been talking about Nintendo not having the killer app for this holiday season.
Xenoblade?
Well, yeah, but Xenoblade's not, is not Zelda. It's not in the same.
Excuse you?
It is not in the same ballpark. Like,
I mean, here's my thing. It's like when people tried to make the argument last year that Bayonetta was like their killer app. No, Bayonetta.
Who said that?
To a very small audience.
Who said that?
Well, look, Ray, I'm not arguing that Xenoblade is a good game at all. I actually, that's the one game that I would buy a Wii U for.
Mm-hmm.
You should.
What I'm saying is name recognition. If you ask somebody who's not familiar with Nintendo products what Zelda is, they will tell you what Zelda is. If you go Xenoblade Chronicles, they're gonna look at you strangely.
I'm sorry, but I don't care about them. That just happened with Bloodborne and the Heads of Jack collection. Everybody was like, "You don't want the Heads of Jack collection," and people were like, "We're playing Bloodborne." Oh, what's Bloodborne? Well, let me tell you. And Bloodborne is selling incredibly well. It's fantastic. I don't know. It's preference and learning. You want to learn about something new? Guess what? You might have a good time.
Absolutely. I mean, you just have to start wondering, what is Nintendo going to do this year, though? I mean, I think they've got
if they're doing a new console, man, this could be them just kind of giving up and being like, we got the new console coming out. It's not that important that we have a killer app this holiday season.
This was like Xbox and
a lot of
Sony
what's
don't have
playing
killer
the rest of this year to me with Nintendo is they've got titles that appeal to the old school fan base. They've got a new Star Fox coming out, Yoshi's Woolly World, Mario Maker, and whatever Splatoon is supposed to be.
Splatoon looks great. That's what it's going to be.
Splatoon looks ridiculous, but that's a whole other conversation entirely.
What does that sound like a game that's already been out?
Because it hasn't.
I mean, beyond that, though, what do they have? I would definitely say Nintendo's strongest, their strength has been, at least to me, games that appeal to me have been on the 3DS more than anything over the last several years. Not that the Wii U does not have great games, but I feel like I've had better Nintendo experiences with the 3DS.
I mean, this is always that weird time of year because people are like, oh my god, my consoles don't have anything coming out. E3 is coming up. God dang it, chill out.
Yeah.
We will get new games announced. They don't want to give you everything at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year the previous year.
Just Nintendo, if you're listening to this, please package your next handheld with your next console.
That would be cool if your next handheld was your next console.
Call it Nintendo Fusion. Thank me later.
And this is what you get when white people try to name Japanese products.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't going to say it. Anyway, that's why they don't pay Josh the big bucks. Anyway, you guys want to talk about the next thing? It's about those walking people again. I don't really know anything about them.
Josh, why don't you read this?
Okay, so tonight, during the Walking Dead season finale, AMC released the first teaser trailer for their Walking Dead spinoff, which is horribly titled Fear the Walking Dead, and not Negan's Knickknacks like I suggested.
You suggested Nintendo Fusion. You don't get to name stuff no more, Josh.
Well, here's the thing. We posted, the name of the new spin-off in the group the other night on Friday. And here are just a few suggestions of what would be deader than, or deader.
No, that works. Keep it, because
That
it's The Walking Dead.
What would be better than Fear the Walking Dead? The Walking Dead Milwaukee. The Walking Dead More Walking and Even Deader. The Walking Dead Electric Boogaloo. The Walking Dead We're Out of Clever Shit.
How did I miss this?
The Walking Dead Die Deader. Let's see. Milwaukee Dead, which was my favorite because I had suggested The Walking Dead Milwaukee, and then someone said no, The Milwaukee Dead.
I don't know how I missed this.
That
This
is
is
great.
hilarious.
The Walking Dead Racist Rednecks. The
God dang
Walking
it.
Dead Poet Society.
Nah.
The Walking Deadist. The Slightly Skipping Almost Comatose. The
I like that
Walking
one.
Dead We Hope Daryl Visits. The Limping Deceased. The
Oh.
Crawling Undead. How to Lose a Plot in 10 Days.
Lol.
Let's see. Weekend at Daryl's,
Oh, goodness.
which was one of my favorite ones.
Oh,
Michonne's Deli, A Slice Above the Rest. Carol's Florist Shop, The Walking Dead on Arrival. Beth's Useless Knickknacks and Things, Negan's Knickknacks. And then Merle's Half Off Pearls.
That may be the greatest thread I've ever been a part of.
I don't know how I missed that. I didn't even know that existed. That's great.
I will pin that.
But yeah, this teaser was literally nothing more than a teaser. It did confirm the show is set in Los Angeles, and it's going to show the opening hours of the outbreak. One of the things that the voiceover was talking about in it is you hear an emergency broadcast going, saying that if you've been diagnosed with the flu, there's a dangerous strain going around, and please stay indoors. So, I mean, could this show maybe tell us how zombies come about in Kirkman's Walking Dead? Probably not, but that may keep like 3 people watching it.
If it's in LA, it's probably bad Botox.
Well, it honestly sounds like Stephen King's The Walking Dead. It's Captain Trips, the super flu.
It sounds like a crappier version of 28 Days Later. The first season is going to consist of 6 episodes and will be airing this summer. And the second season has already been greenlit for 2016. Calling it now, this show does not make it past 2 seasons. Mark it down.
I'm going to write it down. Everybody, you heard it first.
Because
From
it'll
Josh.
probably make it past that since I just said that.
Well, I'm going to say this, man. You don't know that. I'm not going to, hate on it. I'm going to hate on the name because it was really funny and we had a lot of fun with it. But, and this is, like, I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore. And I will tell you that the first season, those 6 episodes, were probably some of the best TV that I've ever watched in my life.
Absolutely.
And I don't think anyone can disagree with me on that. And one of my theories behind why I've started to really dislike The Walking Dead is that it became so popular that they gave it too many episodes per season. The 6-episode format is phenomenal. It packs so much drama and action into those 6 episodes that you're always like, in tension. You're always like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? When they slowed it down and try to extend it to the 16 episodes, there's a lot of filler in it and a lot of quiet time and a lot of just drama that's useless drama that needs to be there.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep this show at 6 episodes, or let's say they do a Game of Thrones thing where they just extend it out to 10 episodes, to me that is it's almost enough, but not enough. Like you're like, oh my God, the 10th episode's coming, And Game of Thrones does it really well. They pack a lot of stuff into 10 episodes, and I can honestly say I have not watched a bad episode of Game of Thrones. Some better than others for sure, but not a bad one. There have been bad episodes of The Walking Dead since season.
Oh yeah. I mean, as someone who I was really big into The Walking Dead when it came out. Watched the first season, as you said, loved it. One of the best first seasons of television. In fact, I would go out on a limb and say it's probably the best first season of television I've ever seen in a show.
Won't argue with that.
It got me really invested into the world. So I went the year that happened between seasons 1 and 2 airing. I read all the comics, got caught up, saw all these amazing arcs I wanted to happen, and then I have seen the TV show destroy that for me. I'm very critical of the show, not because I'm a fan of the comic, but because I really I guess I had a different vision for how it should play out, and I'm kind of over it at this point. Every time you think they're going to go in a good direction, all of a sudden it's 6 episodes of nothingness. I mean,
And
these are
that's
the guys that spent 7 episodes searching for one person on a farm. Okay.
And see, and that's my point about them. Too many episodes.
Mhm.
One, two. They do not use the antagonist of the comic book series very well in it.
No. The Governor was very good, though. I will give David Morrison that. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was the best out of all of it. But like Terminus, which has like a whole overarching arc in the comics, was 2 episodes, if that. And that's one of my issues with it is that you spend too much time on the survivors and not them surviving. And that's the big draw of The Walking Dead, which was why that first season was so good, was we got a little bit of information about the survivors, some in bickering and whatnot, but it was always about them surviving and moving to the next point, surviving, and what crazy stuff is going to happen to them next.
I guess I don't feel that a spinoff was necessary at all. I think it's AMC trying to cash in
Money.
They're trying to cash in quick before people catch on to the show's quality dipping. And I just don't want another zombie soap opera on TV. That's what The Walking Dead is for me now. It's a soap opera with some gore and some sometimes cool action scenes. But that's about it. And that's all I've got to say on it.
All right. Ray?
Yes.
Zombies?
Meh.
And the man monster has returned, although it has now infested another body.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm over zombies.
Even iZombie? Would you watch Dead Rising Watchtower?
I will watch Dead Rising Watchtower.
Word.
It was enjoyable. Especially if you like Dead Rising. Well, speaking of spin-offs, we're going to start talking about Topic of the Week. Topic of the Week.
Topic of the week.
Topic of the Week. Topic of the Week is going to be what series are too sacred to touch, and what ones are worth touching again.
All right. I'm ready for this.
And break real quick, because I would need to get something to break. My mouth is dry.
3, 2, 1. This is the break.
Hmm.
You're welcome, future Ray.
Well, I put it in group chat, but I guess nobody's reading group chat.
Group chat.
Oh, I see it now.
Fucking Judas.
Where?
Be right back.
Oh, goodbye. I don't know what he's talking about.
Dude, I watched part of Walking Dead tonight and I regretted it.
Yeah, I will tell you the truth. I've watched 2 episodes of that show and was like, nope, done.
Watch the first season and then watch selected episodes after that.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm very particular with my time, especially my TV time.
Really, I left during season 2 and then I came back because season 3 was. Everybody said it was trash. I liked it a lot. 4 was awful. It was god awful. And then 5 had the beginning of it was really good. The first 2 or 3 episodes, and then just. This show is why I have trust issues.
Oh, this show? I'm sorry. Neek does that to people.
Oh, no, not Neek. The Walking Dead Milwaukee is why I have trust issues.
The mid-walking dead. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what you should title the episode, The Walking Dead Milwaukee.
The Walking Dead Milwaukee. I will probably do that.
Hey, at least we're not talking about WrestleMania.
Yeah, no thanks. I skipped that.
Dude, my entire Twitter feed has been wrestling all night.
I haven't been on Twitter all night because I knew this was going to be.
How do you get your Twitter feed to wrestle? I haven't seen that function yet.
Mate.
All everybody is talking about is freaking WrestleMania tonight. And terrible.
Smash Brothers.
So are we ready, guys?
Yep.
Sure. I think we've got about 15, 20 minutes for topic of the week.
How many minutes?
we wanted to keep it under an hour and a half. We can go over that if you want.
Kiku.
It's up to you guys.
No, it's not. It's up to y'all.
How many minutes did you say we had?
I will say 25.
I think we can do it in 2025. After that, it's going to start getting stale anyways.
Okay, let's go. Let's shoot for 20.
Like Pringles.
Yeah, let's shoot for 20, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. 20 with 5 to pad it if we need to.
Yes. Yes, because we've been really good about time recently. Like, the past few episodes have been all about an hour, hour and a half. Well, more I should say an hour and a half, hour, 50 minutes.
Okie dokie. Ready for the countdown?
Okie dokie, Smokey. Let's count it in.
3, 2, 1. And we just sang you that jingle of Topic of the Week. Topic of the Week. What series is too sacred to touch? Raven Apollo Williams.
SWAT Cats.
I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know. So we're going to go with a real answer now.
What? Neither of you know what SWAT. Get up. Get up.
Oh,
And now that Ray has quit the podcast, Josh, favorite series too sacred to touch? Movie too sacred to touch?
I would say not in terms of revisiting, but in terms of redoing from the beginning, definitely Star Wars. I don't ever want to see another version of the original trilogy ever. In terms
What if
of,
Channing Tatum was Luke Skywalker?
I would quit life.
Well, there's exit strategy number 1, Chelsea.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. In terms of current series that I think are too sacred to touch, pretty much all of mine have been ruined except Back to the Future. Back to the Future is one of those that, when I think of the great trilogies, I think of that as a trilogy that never had a serious misstep in my mind. And I loved how they ended it, how they just went completely bonkers with the third one and threw Marty McFly and Doc Brown into the Old West. Loved it. That was a beautiful wrap-up to a beautiful franchise. And I'm so happy a fourth film was never, ever made.
Y'all don't know this? You don't remember this?
That sounds like the hood I lived in New Mexico.
Just wait for the riff. You might remember it if you hear the riff. This is Hanna-Barbera for crying out loud.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Nope.
You guys didn't have a childhood?
I'm a child of the 90s.
I had a slinky growing up, but I straightened it.
Oh my god, how did you guys...
But yeah,
I
definitely have to go Back to the Future. I would say Lord of the Rings, but I largely view the Hobbit films as killing that for me. And because Peter Jackson's trilogy, the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, to me is one of the best cinematic accomplishments of all time, just with everything that it took to make that. Deviations from the book be damned. That was incredible.
Okay, so let's go crazy, Josh. Game series, too sacred in your mind to touch?
Oh, God. I might need you to come back to me on that one.
Ray?
Game series too sacred to touch.
Actually, you know what? I know you've got a lot of thoughts on games, so let's make you uncomfortable. Ray, movie series too sacred to touch?
Movie series too sacred to touch. Five Goes West. Don't ever touch that. Leave it alone.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I will honestly say I never expected Fievel Goes West to be brought up on Neek.
Fievel!
Yes, love that movie as a kid. But yeah, don't touch that. Leave it alone. It was great the way it was. Now they're going to ruin it. You just tricked me. You tricked me.
I did.
Thank you.
Game series.
Sacred.
Ray?
Game series?
Game series.
I think I'm going to go with Golden Sun. Leave those alone. They went one too far, and don't ever mess with them again. Leave them alone.
All right. Josh, have you thought of a game series yet?
I'm actually going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that I don't believe any game series is too sacred to touch. And that's because I think in the realm of games, you have possibilities for infinite storytelling, and so many long running series already have so many ridiculous stories that they could do with a reboot. Um, I truly don't think that any game series is too sacred to reboot, quote unquote. Um,
What about completely remake?
Completely remake.
Let's say they
Shadow of
said
the
we're gonna
Colossus.
do Mass Effect and with a new Commander Shepard.
I'd be okay with it.
Well, I was thinking something like Shadow of the Colossus. What do you think if they completely remade that game?
Um, I mean, here's my thing with remaking games. And I'm not talking like remasters. I'm
Yeah, we're
talking
not talking remasters. I'm talking completely remake.
completely remade. So we're talking like we had the original Devil May Cry, and then we got another game called Devil May Cry like 10 years later. Okay, and it was basically a
Yeah.
reboot of the franchise. Is that what we're
Sort of.
talking
I
about?
wouldn't say a
Yes,
reboot,
we're
but
talking about like that. That's
yeah,
that's a good example.
Okay,
that's a better example.
then here's my thing. I'm going to say no. I don't care if you do that because to me, the original, if it was truly a great game, will stand the test of time.
And now we know that Josh likes to play with protagonists who have emo haircuts.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not hate New Dante. Old Dante looked ridiculous.
Yeah, so I truly don't believe any video game series is too sacred to retouch, even my beloved Halo and Zelda and Metroid. Do whatever you want because the experiences I had will always stand the test of time. I consider Wind Waker to be the best game I've ever played in my life, and that's not going to change even if you completely redo Zelda like they do practically with every title.
Well, I mean, Wind Waker was completely redoing Zelda for the first time.
It
So
was, and it was beautiful.
yeah.
And
Well, I guess I shouldn't say the first
like,
time.
that's the first game I ever 100%ed, ever
Wow.
did. That will always hold a special place in my heart, though.
So yeah, I just say that about Golden Sun because I don't know. It lost steam. But I also feel the same way about Chrono Trigger. To be completely honest, don't mess with Chrono Trigger either. Leave it alone.
You didn't like Chrono Cross?
Chrono Cross was fine, but that was kind of more of the natural progression of that, I guess, if that's fair to say.
Yeah.
So
Kiku, what game series are too sacred for you?
See, I'm with you on that, Josh. I think that on a game series, you really can't get upset about a reboot or remake because each person's experience is individually tailored for themselves.
hmm
Obviously, there are some games where everybody's experiences will kind of line up because the gameplay or storytelling is so linear. But I think of all the great games that have come out, and uh, they're usually much longer games with a lot more stuff to do. And I might be concerned if they told me they were going to remake Final Fantasy VII or any of the Final Fantasies that are considered great because all I want is just updated graphics. Like that's it. Don't touch the gameplay. Don't do any of that stuff because it was perfect. It was flawless.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Among Final Fantasy fans, I think Ray will agree with me. The Materia system was the greatest.
it was my favorite, hands down.
Hands down, the greatest. It was easy to use but hard to master.
hmm
Like, I guess that one. But again, I'm still on the side of, you can remake it, you can reboot it because your experience is going to be specifically tailored to your gaming. I mean, each game is going to be your own unique experience.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand what you're saying with, we're going to get creative people who are more creative than the people who initially touched the IP, which is completely possible, but they could also ruin it. But I do also agree that, yeah, I mean, you could remake anything in video games, that way because different minds will do different things that the original creators probably didn't intend to do, and thus making the game better.
The only
Um,
thing that I'm truly against isn't really remaking or rebooting, but is the yearly release stuff.
yeah,
Uh,
that's gotta stop.
I think it waters down the story, it waters down the gameplay.
We're looking at you, Assassin's Creed.
Actually, you know what? Specifically, I'm looking at Assassin's Creed. I won't even go into Call of Duty
Well,
because
because Call of Duty has turned into more of a sport than anything.
yeah, it really has. Assassin's Creed was that game and Mass Effect are probably the most memorable for me. The first Mass Effect, most memorable for me on the 360. It was really what brought me full blown back into gaming and wanting to be an achievement hunter and wanting to have these rad experiences again after taking some time off to pursue a music career. So those games, to me, when they announced, both of them were announced relatively within the same time frame, and both companies, Ubisoft and BioWare, said these games are going to be trilogies. And Assassin's Creed, I know everybody now rags on it, but when it first came out, everybody was like, "This is the greatest game ever." And I think they took it too far. It started off, and personally, I felt that they were, after the first game, they were going to do something that a lot of games don't do, which is tackle a religious topic. And instead, they decided to flip-flop it to aliens planted us here on Earth. But, the Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and then they're like, well, we're going to do Brotherhood, and then we're going to do Revelations, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do... And it's just like, now it actually makes me not want to play those games. Like, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Revelations. I have no want or desire to.
Favorites.
And that's funny, is it was mine too, and a lot of people badger that game.
I don't even know why. Revelations was fantastic, especially for Ezio, and I loved Ezio. Ezio's an amazing character.
I actually dislike Ezio up
Really?
until Revelations. Yes, I feel that I guess when you establish Altair, who was born to be an assassin and bred to be an assassin, and then you have Ezio, who literally his story is his father's an assassin. He has no training whatsoever, but as soon as he puts on his father's cloak, he's a master assassin. And
Sounds like a plausible thing to me.
well, in gaming, yeah, but I mean, when you've already established Altair as this born and bred, killer, and then this guy can just put on a cloak and do the same things as Altair, like,
No, you have to admit he did learn more over time. As
he
did the
did.
player.
And part of the problem with the second one for me was that they did a little bit too much time jumping, like fast forwarded a couple of years, and you still didn't get that feeling that he was in training or that he did all these things, because it was only a couple of seconds for you to read the screen and then you're on to the next mission.
Well, they had another agenda. They were trying to push their story so hard that their character story got lost, if that makes sense.
It did, but I think when we came back to Revelations, it was definitely what made me feel more at home with Ezio as the old assassin, and that's why I really liked Revelations, because he finally felt like a full-out, fleshed-out character and a full assassin, and that's why I really love that one. But yeah, the yearly sequel stuff to me needs to stop, especially for games that are designed to be stories. If they pumped out Mass Effect every year, it would become a terrible game.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's completely okay with those episodic things like, The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead and now Life is Strange and Tales of Borderlands and all those other ones. That's fine. Those are episodic games. That's what they're built to be. But when you have a huge AAA game coming out every single year, you don't really have time to fix the stuff that was broken, because you probably have another team completely separate from the one that was working on the one before it coming out with another one as soon as that one's done.
And see, and that's the thing is those episodic games, if they didn't come out as episodes, it would come out as one full game, right? Just one full game. And most of the episodic stuff isn't as highly detailed, let's say, or has such crazy mechanics on the controller as a AAA title. But even authors, people who write books, you don't see them putting out 500-page books every single year. I mean, rarely do you see that. Eventually, you need to take some time off, and you need to go back to the well.
Agreed.
So here is where we get into something that I've actually wanted to talk about, and we'll start with Josh on this one. Josh, are you still with us?
I'm still here. Yes.
You haven't fallen asleep?
I have not fallen asleep. I just had really nothing to interject about that.
Fair enough. I
fair.
just wanted to make sure you were not on xporn.com while we were talking.
Absolutely not.
Kiku.
Look, I already ruined the episode with the F-bombs. I'm gonna just go full tilt. Full tilt. We're going full tilt. So, Josh, because we started with Ray, we're gonna start with you, Josh. What is a series that you would like to actually see get remade, rebooted, sequelized? Movie first, game second.
Movies first, game second, because movies are going to be harder for me.
Yes.
See, I'm not really sure what I'd want to see get remade or revisited. There are a few things I'd like to see done properly. For instance, I would love to see a return to the original 80s style Transformers cartoon in movie form. The Transformers movie from 1986 is such a massive guilty pleasure. It's not even funny. Give me more Rodimus Prime. Give me more Unicron and Galvatron. Just give me all of it. It was beautiful. Give me something in the vein of that and not this Michael Bay garbage. Um, I would love to revisit if it had the right, and that's always the trickiest thing is finding the right story. If they found the right story, I would love to return to the world of Wall-E. Wall-E is one of my favorite movies ever made. Um, I truly love that character. I love that world. If you could find a way to do another film in there, I would welcome a sequel so fast it wouldn't even be funny. Everybody wants an Incredible sequel. I want a Wall-E sequel. I want more Wall-E.
I'm on the boat of give me the Incredibles. Give me a whole franchise of the Incredibles. Give me video
I don't care.
games.
Give me a video game. Give me TV shows. I want it all.
Yep.
Wall-E is what got me interested in animation again after a long hiatus. Beyond that, though, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied. I'd like to see another film maybe set when The Prestige is. It's one of my all-time.
How did you know I was thinking that too?
Show me a little bit more there, or show me some more adventures of Cobb from Inception. I was just watching Inception the other night, and that kind of came to me. You could literally do anything you want to do with that group of characters, and that to me that was one of the most memorable ensemble casts I've ever seen in a film, and I just love to see if they could do more with those characters. But if they don't, I'm totally cool with it because the original is just such a masterpiece to me.
I want to see JGL's character have a dream inceptionized where he goes back to Third Rock from the Sun. Josh, games that you would like to see a sequel, reboot.
I would like to see a sequel too. This one might even be trickier because I never ask for sequels to games really, unless they're in a long-running franchise that I really like Halo or Zelda. I mean, inevitably, we know it's going to come eventually. A sequel to Skyrim will come. Even if it's not a direct sequel, it will be Elder Scrolls 6. Give me Elder Scrolls 6 tomorrow, and I would be happy with it. Star Wars Republic Commando.
Oh,
whoa,
bro, good choice. Whoa.
I'm bringing back a deep cut. Give me more Republic Commando, and I'm not talking like the 5 books that I had to read to get my fix of Delta Squad. I'm talking give me a follow-up first-person shooter when they are the Imperial Commandos during Order 66.
For those of you who did not play the original Xbox and do not know what Republic Commando is, I feel sorry for you.
Go remedy that now. It works on 360. Go buy the game, play it.
It is such an amazing first-person shooter. First, let me tell you something. Probably one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played in my life. Yep. And then second, it is an amazing Star Wars game. Such an amazing Star Wars. That is such a good choice, Josh. Oh my God, I wish I would have thought of that.
I think I have one more. I'm trying to remember what it is though. That's the hardest part. You don't think about.
I know, Josh. I know what game it is. I'm reading your mind right now.
Go.
It is Call of Juarez 5. Tejas! Yeah!
Alt F4.
That was terrible.
Alt F4. Where's my F4?
Everybody just quit. Everybody just stopped listening. No, I think that's legitimately the only sequel I would ever clamor for is either another Republic Commando or another Jade Empire.
Dang it.
Which we have said
Took mine.
times on the show.
We have brought it up so many times.
So many times. Please give it to us. Bioware.
Ray.
Raymond. Apollo Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Fanatic with the schematic, which always makes him smile on camera.
Game first.
Game first for me?
Game first.
It's
harder.
I got 3. Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh, good choice.
Legacy of Kain.
I actually was thinking that. You stole it from me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Psyops.
Oh, that's an interesting and obscure choice.
I don't know why. I freaking love that game. It was so cool.
It was cool. No, it was.
I just want, if a game could give me mechanics like that again, I would take it hands over heels. I need it. I need that game. It was so much just it was stupid fun is what it was. It was gory, super powered fun. I enjoyed it.
You know what's funny is a lot of those games from the original Xbox and PS2 era kind of just got left in that era.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because a lot of those games were really good. So, Ray, no more games.
Okay.
No, do you have any more games?
No, that's
Mm.
it. Besides Fallout 4, but yeah,
Yeah, well, who doesn't want that?
exactly.
So, movies, Raymond. What would you want to see rebooted, remade, sequelized?
Just one.
hmm
The Power Rangers.
Well, they're doing that. It's coming out.
But
Two different versions.
well, that's what I want, and I'm getting it. So
Are you getting it? Okay.
I win.
You win.
You?
Yes, sir.
What movies would you like to see revisited or remade?
Everybody kick back. Get
You
comfortable.
guys have done kind of sequels, not really reboots. So I'm trying to think of
I'm completely anti-reboot, so
there are a lot of movies out there that had a lot of potential. I could see it rebooted. I would like to see a sequel to it. If not getting a reboot, definitely a sequel is Equilibrium. You remember that film?
I'm
With
trying to remember.
Christian Bale and Taye Diggs?
I do remember it.
Yes, I would love to see a sequel because he basically brings down the system. I would like to see the war that follows after everybody stops taking their sedatives.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Rebooted Superman, Man of Steel, please God.
Yes, please. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's try that again.
Let's do over.
Without Zack Snyder.
Mulligan.
Mulligan. It was a mulligan.
Lemon Law, actually. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a sequel that should come out. I mean, I'm getting my Mad Max. Obviously, we're getting the Avengers. We're getting Star Wars. We're getting Star Trek.
Jesus.
Never mind.
I would like to see a sequel because I know it's not going to come back to TV, but I would love to see a sequel to Serenity.
Yeah.
Especially one that explores the men with the blue hands that we saw briefly in the television show, but never really got an explanation outside of the comics that followed.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much left to do in that universe that I'm just hoping that Nathan Fillion eventually has nothing better to do, and Joss decides that he has to revisit it because otherwise people are going to stalk him until he dies.
Yeah.
And revisits it.
True.
I would go crazy over that. Yes.
So there is that. Man, I just can't really think of any what do you call it? Any other movies, to be honest with you.
I actually have another movie to throw out there. I know we're on you right now. One that I would like to see revisited and potentially redone, and I say potentially because I loved the first film in this series. Okay, so stick with me here.
Uh-oh.
Piku, you like the Wachowski brothers, right? I can't.
Yes.
I can never pronounce their name.
Wachowskis.
I would like to see more done with The Matrix.
Me too, actually.
And here's the thing. I say potentially rebooted because I have such a massive respect and fanboyism for the first Matrix film. It came out at the perfect time of the computer and the internet revolution in '99. It was incredible. Nothing like that had ever been done before. And then Reloaded and Revelations were just so disappointing.
And see, man, I'm sorry, Jess, I'm about to cut you off there, bro. This is what happens every time I talk to somebody about The Matrix. The Matrix is one of my all-time favorite series.
I knew this was coming. I know it is.
He got really excited.
He just completely.
Insert break here. Spike. Okay, thank you. I don't know what happened. He died.
I don't know what happened either. I think his computer died.
Maybe.
Sorry, my computer had a fit and kicked me out of Google Hangouts for some reason.
We were like, man, he got really excited.
Yeah. I'll do the count-in so we can get back into it.
Go for it.
And I'll start from when I was like, see, this is where I'm, 3, 2, 1. See, man, the Matrix trilogy is like one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and this is a conversation I've gotten into with a lot of people because they, always say, "Oh, Reloaded and Revolutions was disappointing." And the thing is that I can understand it being disappointing to a lot of people who aren't into philosophy and aren't into what's actually going on in the background and going on with the dialogue. What I always tell these people is if you can find it, and I own it, so if I need to, Josh, I will mail it to you to borrow, is the Ultimate Matrix Collection. And there's a disc in it that is called The Philosophy of the Matrix. And it is interviews with philosophy college professors from all around the United States at like prestigious universities like Harvard and Yale, who at the time were teaching the Matrix in their classes because of their use of philosophical ideas like Kant's structures of the mind and allegory of the cave and things like that. And if you watch that and learn what these philosophical theories are and go back and rewatch the movies, it opens your eyes up to an entirely different movie series. And again, for the casual moviegoer, they're not going to want to do that. But I think if you want to have your mind blown by what the type of art that they were trying to accomplish in it, and you go back and watch it, it's a totally different story, totally different movie than just, Neo is the Christ figure. So,
no, I'm not trying to discount that at all. I mean, the exact opposite, actually. I've read a decent amount into the philosophy behind the Matrix, and I think that's part of why I was a little bit let down. I say a little bit because I've never extensively watched the 2 sequels due to them leaving a bad taste in my mouth the couple times I did see them. But the first Matrix, like I said a few minutes ago, is definitely one of my all-time favorite first movies in a series, and set up so much potential. I think they tried to go a little bit too big with them, though, combining the schedules for Reloaded and Revolutions. I actually liked the third one a decent amount. Reloaded is where I feel like it kind of went a little wonky, but maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. I need to go back and rewatch it.
I think you should, and we'll talk about this in private someday. But I mean, really, I am against reboots. I think there's a couple of TV shows that should get another chance.
Oh, let's not even open up TV shows right now.
I mean, not even like just Firefly or anything like that, but there's been a couple of shows that only went on for a season that I'm like, hey, man, what's wrong with people? Why don't they like the show? Pushing Daisies is definitely one of them. Loved that show. Couldn't believe that it got canceled. There's been a couple of others, but we won't get into that. We'll just do movies
tomorrow, people, but that's just me.
That is just you, because Robbie ML is terrible.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
So, wait, am I on games now?
Yes.
I got a whole slew of them.
Oh, boy.
I want either a remake or a sequel to Advent Rising.
Ooh, yes. See, now, that was originally supposed to be a trilogy, if I remember correctly.
It was, and actually it was written by Orson Scott Card, who I don't care if you agree with his politics, but
he's a great writer.
He's a great writer. And he wrote that story, and it was a really good story. And yeah, the flick targeting system was a little wonky, but it was a good game. I don't care what you say. Sequel, because it's supposed to be a trilogy. Too Human.
Oh, yeah, wow. That game bombed hard.
Bombed hard because nobody liked the fighting system.
I enjoyed it. Me and my buddies played the crap out of that game.
Yeah, so did I. Understandably, Dennis Didac is insane, so Silicon Knights went poo-poo down the poop chute. But I would love to see a return to that world. That cyberpunk Asgard was amazing. I've talked about it several times. Hunted, which was another game on both the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, which was about demon hunters who hunted vampires and werewolves, and it was kind of like Diablo, basically. I would love to see that game series come back. I believe it was done by Majesco, who is no longer with us. Am I right?
You are
Probably.
absolutely correct.
Absolutely correct. I believe it was done by them. I'll have to look that up. But it was a great series. If you have an Xbox around still, a PlayStation 2, locate that game. It's called Hunted the Reckoning. Get a friend, get two friends, whatever. Play it co-op. You will have a blasty blast.
Yes, brother.
The fire rises.
Thank you, Sean Connery, acting as Bane.
Well, you guys are laughing your heads off. I love that you brought up Too Human because that actually, Silicon Knights, man, that actually reminded me of one game that, in my mind, for some reason, I always thought we got a sequel, but we never did.
Requiem?
Eternal
Darkness, that's what it is,
Vanity Requiem.
Yep.
I would do unspeakable things for a sequel to that.
Dennis died X crazy. You're never going to see that game, ever.
I know I'm not. He has flirted with my heart way too much over the years.
Another game, which it actually is getting a kind of sequel on PC, but it's a first-person shooter. It's not your standard point-and-click adventure game, is Alone in the Dark, which was one of the very first survival horror games to ever come out. And I loved it. I love the Xbox 360 version for all of its flaws, its broken physics engine. I love that game, and I would love to see it come back to life. And then Ray took my other one, which was Legacy of Kain. Not Soul Reaver. I don't want Soul. I want Kain.
That's okay.
I want Kain so bad. But these are games like I said before. These are games from that OG Xbox, PlayStation 2 era that were just kind of left in that era, and it's sad. I urge you, if you guys have never played those games, to look them up. All the games that we've talked about. And if you still have an original Xbox, or a friend, or PlayStation 2, whatever, go out, get one of these games, man, and have a retro game night or whatever, and play them, and you will thank us in the morning. Maybe your wife or husband or boyfriend or whatever will not, because you spent money on old stuff. But hey, I'm not responsible for your compulsive spending. Only my own compulsive spending.
We're only responsible for your happiness, and if they can't make you happy, we will.
We will. So with that, I'm going to wrap up topic of the week. I have an announcement that I didn't share with you guys.
Are you pregnant?
Yes, I am actually pregnant.
Oh my god!
I am pregnant with a giveaway.
Oh.
We will soon be doing a giveaway where the prize for all you lovely listeners will be a Hot Topic exclusive Star Wars Wampa. Right now it's starting to become sold out across America. We're going to think of a little game for you guys to play that's going to include the Facebook group and listening to the podcast. So,
haha, you got to do both. Sucker.
You got to do both. If you want to join and then leave right after, you win.
That's cool.
And I will hate you even more.
Yep.
But I have the pop sitting here. We're going to take the next week or two to think of the game to play to make it fair for everybody.
Shall we play a game?
Show you want to play a game?
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Brother. The fire rises.
And Sean Connery Bane comes back from the dead. So last week he was the Men Monster. This week he's the Sean Connery Bane Monster. But yeah, be on the lookout for that giveaway. Anything you guys have to say?
Can I win the toy, Kiku?
Shut up.
What?
That was my impersonation of Ray telling someone to shut up.
Oh goodness.
Oh, that was pretty good.
It was.
Good.
Shut up.
And if this turns out to be radically popular, I might throw in an amiibo, one that I haven't opened yet. So
it's gonna be Mario.
No, it might be Toad.
And Josh went quiet. He's like, you know what Josh is thinking right now? Damn it, I need to quit being a host and just be a regular member.
Chelsea, babe, if you're listening to this, I need you to win this contest.
And if it's not Toad, it's probably Luigi.
Such Luigi hate. Thaddeus McGinty, O'Shaughnessy, O'Shea Finney. Such Luigi hate. Anyway, guys, we have no shout-outs this week. We hope you enjoyed listening
Wait,
to
yes, we do.
Oh, do we?
All of you in the Neek group already that continuously build conversations and have a good time in that group. Shout outs to you. You guys are fantastic. I really like you guys. You're respectful, you have a good time, and you also form different opinions than the other person who's commented before you. That's always great. I hate going to groups where everybody asks the same questions.
Also, you know what? Now that you mention that, Ray, I want to give a special shout-out to William Levert.
William Levert, my buddy.
Okay, Levert, sorry to mess up your name, buddy.
I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong too. Doesn't matter.
Whatever. We've messed up so many people's names. You know, William Tortellini. I want to say thank you for coming up with the name, the adjectiveless X-Men. That is amazing. I laughed so hard when I read that. Thank you.
William's
that was pretty great earlier.
He's probably my, I have go-to guys for anime and for movies. He is my go-to guy for comics. He really is.
Well, William Tortellini, thank you.
He is a fount of information.
He is a fount. All right. But other than that, guys, we want to say thank you for listening to the podcast. Keep a lookout for the giveaway. And I'm sorry I still haven't shaved Josh's head on air in an episode. We will be getting to that soon.
Soon.
So keep it nerdy.